For couples separating or divorcing or in any form of relationship breakdown, they're faced at that point with a number of options. So you've got trying to resolve the issues directly between them. You have the process where solicitors would help negotiate outcomes for them that they would be happy with. You would have mediation, where one or maybe more than one person would provide information to the separating couple. Then you have the collaborative process, which is a process whereby the separating couple each engage a solicitor, but the process is round a table and is honest and open and excludes court. And then the final process would be the court process, an imposed outcome by a judge, unpopular and expensive.
In relation to mediation, the process involves a couple coming together with a mediator to try and set an agenda about the things that they want to talk about, and then the mediator helps them move through that process, looking forward rather than going back, about resolving all their issues in relation to their separation and divorce. In relation to collaborative law, the two lawyers and the couple would meet. There's like a four-way process where an agenda is set beforehand. The lawyers usually speak beforehand, and then the couples have the discussion, but they have the lawyers there to give advice.
The reason why separating and divorcing couples need to be aware of mediation and collaborative law, or the collaborative process, is because they're relatively new processes. They're new ways of trying to help couples who are going through difficult times resolve their issues without having to go to court.
Well, mediation is an alternative way of partners sitting down together, whether they have children or not, to sort out arrangements once they decide to separate. For their children, if they have children, for their finances, where they're going to live and how they're going to be supported.
With regards to mediation, it's appropriate to mediate after an assessment meeting has been carried out in respect of both parts of the couple. A mediator usually meets with them away from the actual session itself, and they carry out some risk assessments.
The process then will move on. If mediation is going to go ahead and is satisfactory for everyone concerned, the process will move on where the clients meet together with one of our mediators. We have 17 mediators who are very experienced in family law and in children's matters, and they will identify the matters between them they wish to clarify. They will look at their options and hopefully come up together with an outcome of proposals which are not legally binding, which they can take to their solicitors, who will quickly turn it into a legally binding document and something that feels fair to them and that they both can live with.
Collaborative law is where a couple go and see separate solicitors who are both trained in collaborative law. The solicitors will talk to each other. It'll be open information and conversation between the lawyers and the couple, and usually there's an exchange of information between all four people. An agenda is usually set, and then there will be a meeting where the four people will meet. If advice is needed, then either lawyer can give advice to the couple. It doesn't have to be necessarily their lawyer, and the process is moved forward in relation to the sort of agenda items that they want to discuss.
Another element of the collaborative process is that all four people who would sit round the table will sign a participation agreement at the beginning of the first meeting. The participation agreement ties everybody in to doing their best to resolve the issues for that couple in a timely way. One of the key features of the participation agreement is that they each agree not to go to court.
The couple feel empowered to be able to make decisions themselves along with advice from lawyers, so that rather than feeling that they're stuck behind a solicitor's desk in a traditional route, they're actually there in the process making decisions about their own lives, along with the comfort of knowing they're getting legal advice.
The benefits of the collaborative process are, one, that you will not go to court, two, that it should be less expensive and less time consuming for the separating couple. I think the most important benefit would be at the conclusion of the process. That couple that were perhaps unhappy when it started are able to communicate, are happy with the agreement that they've reached, and that it is the best interests for them, their children and their family as a whole.
Sometimes people feel that they need to be a little bit more supportive in entering a process, and sometimes they feel they have that more support with the collaborative law process. But in mediation, they can bring occasionally their solicitors to the mediation process, and usually it happens at the end if they're stuck on something, or one particular issue.
It's very important for couples to look at both options, mediation and the collaborative process. Both should, at the conclusion, enable the couples to continue with some sort of family life, particularly if they have children, and it should be an easier, less expensive process for them. What a client should look for in a collaborative solicitor is, first of all, someone who has been collaboratively trained. It's very important that they are collaboratively trained, because there are some set guides and guidelines that those lawyers will need to take their clients through. And you need to have 2 collaboratively trained lawyers in order to engage in this process.
It offers a positive way for them to work together, to listen to each other, to come up with positive outcomes, and to address the major issues they need to address, but also assists them to communicate, which above all else will help them through the years and will help them through the process of leading separate lives.
I would say, firstly, if a couple have just separated and that person needs some help and support, I would say that they firstly need to make sure they're aware of all the options available to them. So they need to go and see someone at Michelmores to get the advice. We have a wide range of people that can offer all those services.
I genuinely believe that separating couples should come to Michelmores, because we have the depth of expertise, we have the knowledge. I believe we're genuinely approachable, and I am passionate about couples coming to the end of the process with good outcomes for them and their family.